Welcome to DLA Hour, a platform for meaningful conversations where leadership ideas connect with the people. It is a space where representatives of the Democratic Leadership Alliance speak directly with citizens, explain their policies, address national issues, and share their plans for a better future. On DLA Hour, the conversation goes beyond politics. We focus on vision, accountability, and practical steps toward responsible governance and national progress. My name is Judith Aguenu. Don't forget to follow, like, share, and subscribe to our DLA Nigeria on all social media platforms. Leadership is often associated with titles, offices, and positions of authority. However, some of the most impactful individuals in society have demonstrated that true leadership goes beyond the offices they hold. It is reflected in service, sacrifice, influence, and a commitment to the common good. Today's discussion, Service Before Position, making impacts without holding public office, challenges us to rethink leadership and explore how individuals can serve their communities and nation regardless of the titles they hold. And to help us unpack this important topic, we are joined by a distinguished member of the Democratic Leadership Alliance and one of the aspirants in the recently concluded presidential primary processes, Prince Dr. Ugwi Afegbokai. Dr. Ugwi is a seasoned business executive, a management consultant, and a human resources strategist with over 15 years of multifaceted experience across finance, operations, administration, and business development. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for
Judith.
joining us today. Thank you,
You're
sir.
welcome.
So, moving on, we'll be going directly into the questions for today. So, the first question, you once aspired to be a presidential candidate of the party, DLA. What motivated your decision to seek the office, and what vision did you hope to offer to Nigerians?
I aspired to be president of Nigeria.
Of Nigeria, wow.
If I have my chance, I still want to be president of Nigeria.
Of Nigeria, all right.
You see, Nigeria where we live today is a failed state.
Okay.
And you don't need any man to tell you that we are running into a death trap. And so I offered myself for that position because I think that the current crop of leaders we have don't know that there are people beyond or underneath them that has good vision for the country or good idea that can boost economy, change the security landscape, and create jobs for people. People are hungry as we speak. Some kids are in captivity. Yeah. If for a true leader, right, those kids don't have to stay in captivity for more than 24 hours. If I was president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as agile as I am, immediately that thing has happened, I'm moving there. If I can send 10,000 troops to monitor election, why can't I send 10,000 men to the forest and condo the place and get them? I've been the victim of kidnap, but I was not the kidnapped person, but I was the negotiator. So I understand how these things operate. I understand how you operate with these people, how you discuss with them, and how you can get out of it. You know, so it just takes a little sense to do what you have to do and what you have to do. So back to your question, right? I envisaged that I would have won my ticket to be president of Federal Republic of Nigeria through our lovely party, the DLA. But I saw an opportunity with another leader that I think has the ideals, the emotion, the empathy, and skills that I possess as well. And it's somebody that I can work with. All of us can be president. You know, it can only be one person. And we can only work with that person to see how we bring things to table or bring things to bear. And that's the problem we have with Nigeria currently. Everybody wants to be. Because I see no reason why the opposition or all opposition parties cannot come together and produce one candidate and say, if we want to move APC from power, let's bring one candidate, one true candidate. And that's what we did in the DLA. We saw it as, we sat down, we talked to ourselves, we discussed with party leaders, discussed back with our community and said that we cannot all be there. yes, you have interest. You know that you want to do this or you want to do that. But we cannot all go. How do we go about it? Oh, we have heard what you want to do. I've heard what you want to do. Okay, let's put these things together and see how we can go with this. And there's a party manifesto that will deliver all of those dividends of democracy. And with the person we step down for, I'm rest assured, I'm confident that he'll be able to lead us there.
Oh, all right, sir. So the decision to step down, was it a difficult one for you to make personally? I mean,
you see, the kind of person I am, there's no decision that's difficult to make, as long as you know what you are doing or you know what you want. I didn't take too much time to think about it. The only thing I was concerned about, or the only problem I had, was my followers. That was the only problem I had. Like, oh, okay, boss, you are going to do this, So I had to go back to them and say, see, it has come to this. I spoke with them, and they said, okay. Because I went with them before to consult that I was going to run, and they gave me their nod. And I went back to them and said, like, I'm going to step down from this race. I have somebody that can go ahead with the same vision as I have, and he can always listen to me to say, oh, X, Y, Z, this is what we have to do, or this is what we have to do at this point. So it was a good one. Even if some people would not be happy, some other presidential candidates might not be happy about everything that happened, but I think that everything is fine.
All right, sir. Okay. So the entire experience of wanting to be the president and then eventually stepping down, what did it teach you about balancing personal ambition with party interest, public service, and nation building, rather?
You see, without holding office, we already do the things that government does. Yeah, in my community, I empower people. I build roads already. So I don't have to be in power to do that. Yeah, I just offered myself for service to see if I can do those things that I used to do better, right, with the people's money. The things I do, naturally, are the things I do with my personal money, right? So if I want to do it better, or if I want to do more of those things, it's just for me to be able to get into power and do those things better. That's what I was offering myself, and that was what it's for.
All right, sir. So moving on, many people associate leadership and impact with holding public office. From your experience, how can other individuals contribute meaningfully to nation building, national development, and community growth without being in office?
You see, you know that some leaders are born.
Yes, yeah.
And some leaders are made. Right? So for the ones that are born, you don't need to tell them what to do. They will go ahead to do whatever they want to do. They are born with it. They are born with that empathy
skills,
to lead, and with those skills to do the things, to help people, to help drive decisions, to help drive critical thinking of things to do, things to fix. So if it will balance up when you are born. It's better you are born a leader to do those things than when you are made to learn leadership. If you are made to learn leadership, that's the problem we have with Nigeria. That's the gap that we have. Most of the leaders we have are just there to grab what they want. They are not there to do something for the community. They are there for themselves. That's why I see the corruption is high, and most of these people are embezzling monies that their generations cannot even finish. Because if Nigeria was proper and we have great and good leaders, I don't think Nigerians should even go over hunger. A typical Nigerian now is hungry, very, very hungry and angry. With that, there's insecurity, bad roads to travel, no electricity, no industrialization, no jobs. What kind of a country do we live in if we have good leaders? So we need to go back, rethink, and that's why one of the reasons why I wanted to run. I wanted to be an example to younger ones, for them to look up and say, oh, yeah, XYZ, you did this, I did this at this time. I want to be able to follow up with the things you are doing. The decision to join DLA was because of the philosophical value of the party. It was a party with ideology and philosophy that you want to follow through. I did not join DLA because I just wanted to be a party member. I believed in the constitution and the policies that the party is made up of. That's why I joined in the first place.
All right. So speaking of the younger ones, what role do you think they can play exactly in nation building beyond voting and political participation? What other roles do you think they can play, the young people?
The best role for young people to play now, right, is information driving. They need to drive information. You need to awaken one another because we are sleeping. The next generation is sleeping and they are learning from us. The generation before us have failed us. They have failed us totally. If you tell me or if you ask me, I don't think the likes of Atiku and Obi should be running because they belong to that generation.
The older generation.
Yes, they are beginning to eat into my generation. They are running for political office now. They are coming to my generation. They are coming to my space. And because my space is not well informed, everybody is relaxed. We think that everything is normal. But everything is not normal, my dear. We need to make a move. We need to start passing information around to people. Awareness is knowledge. So once you know that this is what it is, you have to drive with that.
Okay, sir. So, in your view, how can political parties cultivate a culture where service, sacrifice, and commitment are valued above the pursuit of positions and titles? Because earlier you mentioned something about some aspirants not being, happy with the decision to have a consensus candidate in the DLA. So, how do you think political parties can cultivate a culture where service and commitment are valued more than the pursuit of positions?
You see, there's a gap already. You cannot start to build that now with the kind of people we have. And that's why the ideology I speak about and philosophy of the DLA I speak about is going to come to play. We have to catch them young now. And I am aware that the DLA starts to catch them from secondary school. There's a youth wing, there's a student wing, and all of that. We need to build a new culture. The guys we have now that are in my generation, they don't have the culture. We have to rebuild. We have to unwind and rewind to build that culture. We have to imbibe that culture in younger ones for them to, because if we are thinking that we want to learn from these guys that are there now, that means we'll make another mistake for the next generation.
All right, so as we conclude today's program, what message would you like to share with Nigerians, young people especially, who want to make a difference but feel they lack the influence, the resources, or the platform to do so?
I don't think anyone lacks influence or lacks the platform, right? In every space where you are, you can speak to somebody. That person will speak to somebody. And when you talk to people, don't feel that they are not listening or don't think that it will not make an impact. They would sit down later and think about it. So pass the good message. Go and get registered for the ones that are not registered. We want new voters. We want new voters. And for us to get new voters, is for everybody to come out and vote and see how we can make our vote count. Basically, that's what it is. Everybody needs to come out. Because if we don't come out, we're going to suffer another 4 years.
Yeah. Okay. And that brings us to the end of DLA Hour for today. Thank you very much, Dr. Afegbokai Ugwi, for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you very much to our viewers, too. Don't forget to follow, like, share, drop your comments, and also subscribe to DLA Nigeria on all social media platforms. My name is Judith Aguenu. Thank you.